Welcome everybody, Don Giannetti, lighting-essentials.com, project52prosystem.com. This is another in my ongoing series of Why Is That Photo Great? And today we're going to take a little bit of a detour, and we're going to do this throughout the year. I'll be doing these every Monday throughout the year. We're going to do this where we look at a body of work more than we look at an individual image. The photographer that I'm looking at today represents a style to me that is just simply one of the most exciting type work that I see being done out there. And he does a more editorial approach. So we're looking at several of his shots that are really incredible, plus the idea that this is an aesthetic that we can all learn from. His name is Jake Stengel. He's a young guy. Portland, Oregon, San Francisco area, Pacific Northwest. And he's an editorial advertising photographer. Shoots a lot of film, shoots digital, shoots whatever he wants to shoot, and makes some amazing images. Let's take a look at the first image here. And this is a shot of a rider on a horse in a barn. Now, I'm going to tell you what I like about these shots, what I like so much about them. And some of it is not what Jake did as much as what he didn't do, which I guess is what he did, correct? I guess. But Jake approaches this from a real photographic point of view, and that's something I really, really love. I like the way the light is coming in to this barn, lighting up a little bit of it, and I love how dark it gets around here. If you've ever been in a barn, and I have been in a barn, I think I was born in a barn, but if you've ever been in a barn, you know that's how the lighting is. I like the fact that Jake does not go into Lightroom, et cetera, and pull up the shadows and you know, add light where there isn't any. It's just really, really beautiful. And then the silhouette of the horse caught right in that perfect square is it's just iconic. It's everything. Look at the two windows facing each other. A little bit of light on this one, a little more on this one. The horse is sideways. This is an image that looks like a grab shot, but it's not a grab shot. And even if it is a quote grab shot, it's a grab shot made from a base of composition, a knowledge of the camera, a knowledge of what looks good. It's really a dynamite shot, and I love it. This, I believe, is from a series. If you go to his website, there are links below. There's a whole bunch of links to Jake's work below, and including an incredible video he does on what you need to know to be an assistant. Really awesome. I would love you to check it out down below. Check out all the links. Are you kidding? There's a ton of them. They're great. All right. I really, really like this photograph. This next photograph has a lot of that same interest to it. He exposed for the back, he exposed for the light, and the cyclists kind of go into a sort of a silhouette. They're dark. He did not bring them up in Photoshop. It's not overly shopped. It's an image that looks to me exactly how this image would look if I was out there on a rainy trail with a bike riding up the Cascades or wherever this is. The chances of me doing that are, well, very slim unless my Harley could do it. But this is a really awesome photograph. Notice the helmet placement. Notice the body language everywhere. This is so nice. Very sublime image. It reminds me a lot of the Cartier-Bresson, you know, that perfect moment caught in time. Another thing Jake does that I really admire is he does detail shots. So we have this biker, and you can see he's got, you know, some scrapes and bruises on his legs. None the worse for wear here. He's got his bike. But look at the composition. You know, bring that leg right down into the wheel. Everything in the shot just works out so beautifully. It's just a very nice, tasteful composition. This area right here leads you down to the circle. It's clean, it's fast, it's on the run type photography, but it comes from a deep, basic understanding of the medium. Jake is one of the photographers that I saw doing this. I wouldn't say he was the first, but he was kind of the first back there using these long shadows. I don't know what this is. This could be the sun. This could be a strobe, hot light, bare bulb, whatever. I don't know. I do believe Jake is mostly natural light, but he does definitely know his way around a studio for sure. I would imagine he could light pretty much anything. But don't you just love the shadows? Look at the forks coming up here. Look at the knife shadow right there. I love the tall plant here that doesn't look tall to us, but we see the tall shadow. We see the plant coming out. So much to like. Look at the forks up here. This is kind of a potpourri of interesting little things, vignettes happening all over this table. And you'll also notice that there's kind of a color tone to Jake's work. And this is what makes it more of a body of work than just a bunch of random photos. Let's go back to the top and look at the first one. See the warmth in it? See the warmth? More warmth. Very much more warmth. There's a color palette. There's an amberness to his image. Yes, amberness is a word. I made it up. Sue me. But it really has a nice effect, and this is the kind of photography that gets me very excited. This is also from the Montana project that he did, and it is on his website. Scroll down and look at the brilliant reds and the muted greens and the whites all coming out. If you look at Montana, the images that he did in there, you're going to be amazed at how well they flow together. What a great look they provide, and a solid body of work. Jake has a way of shooting, a way of looking at the world that is his. And I really respect it, and I hope that you like what he does as well. Let's take a look at this atmospheric shot here. Lots of space. In this shot, we've got the people on the road. We've got the shine on the road. We've got all the mist back here. This looks very filmic to me. That doesn't look like a digital sky. Maybe there's a little Photoshop. I don't know. I'm not speaking for Jake here how he did it, but that looks filmic to me. That looks like, that looks like portrait to me. It looks like some colors that I would get with my 6x7 with film. And I really love the aesthetic of it. A little windy road, the first and sharp horizon, the second softer horizon, and the farthest away horizon. Look at the depth that's in the shot. Very clear up to our writers, or they're either walking or writing. I imagine they're writing. Very clear up to them, and then that haze and mist comes in and gives us a real strong feeling of distance. Really love that. Here's a couple of kids bouncing on a trampoline out in the water. I like it because it silhouettes the subjects, and the trees are silhouetted as well. The exposure is for the sky and for the water, which is the greatest amount of image covered here. The people are centered. He's very much a classic photographer in that way. I like his centered images. I like the feeling of comfortableness to the design of the image. The trees are blocked out as they would be on a semi-bright day like this. Clouds in the sky, they're blocked out. A little bit of a tilt to the horizon, and that gives the shot a little bit of dynamics. Now, I always talk to my students about making sure that if you're going to tilt the horizon, you tilt it enough. This is tilted enough. It's tilted enough. It's enough to give it dramatic flair to the image. It's enough to make you know as a viewer that it's not a mistake. It's definitely a part of the shot. It adds a little whimsy to the shot. It adds a little bit of dynamics to the shot, a little tension. Catching this jumper up in the air just really adds to the tension and the interest, of course, of the shot. two people standing on this might be cool. Adding this layer of execution here, getting the guy up in the air, that's that extra little bit that really great photographers do. You know, it's one thing to go out and do a photograph like this. Lots of photographs are taken like this. But it's another thing to look at the composition. It's kind of centered, right? The composition is all what's going on here because you can't leave out the road. This is not the composition here. This is the people are dead center, but it's not about the people, it's about the people on the road. And if you move it over to here, the people are a little bit off to the left, but the road comes right down and fills the frame right up front. It's an interesting and really dynamic way to compose. Very much like it. We got another one more shot, a portrait here that he did out in the desert, very late in the day. Also filmic, definitely to me looks like film, and I think that it is. Late day. This is that added that extra punch. It's one thing to shoot it all in the sun. It's another thing to shoot it all in the shade. But when you pull in that backlight right up here, you pull in that light, and there's no light like that on the foreground. It just gives a deeper dimension to the picture. The pose of the subject here is interesting and sort of reminiscent of the cactus around, the Joshua trees around. Really like the shot. Lots of environment here. Lots to like. I like how the Joshua trees on this side sort of balance out the darkness on that side. Really framing him dead center. Puts it all in perspective. And then that very clear sky. Late evening sun. It's just really fantastic. I mentioned a color palette and I mentioned a style of shooting. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 24 shots of what he calls dailies that he has on his website. You're going to go check out his website, hit Dailies. This is from his point and shoot. You can see his aesthetic. You can see the naturalness, the way he shoots. You can see the color. You can see the color palette, the warmth, the almost minimalist approach to many of his subjects. Very clean and truly great stuff. This is his website, Jake Stengel. It's a great website, by the way. The design is awesome. You need to check it out. He does a lot of stories. He's an editorial photographer, an advertising photographer, does a lot of long-form work. Hit his website down below. Go to Dailies for sure. Check out some of the great stories he has here. And definitely hit the Montana one, which is down if you scroll down a little bit. But that's our February 22nd. What makes this photo great is the artistry and aesthetic of Jake Stengel. Jake, great shooting, man. Well, that's it for this one, guys. If you like these little vignettes that I'm doing about photographers and photography, hit the subscribe button. I don't care about the bell. That's, ding, ding, up to you. But hit the subscribe button. That just really helps me sort of know the direction that I want to go. But I'll be doing this every Monday for the rest of the year 2021. We'll see what happens in 2022. But hey, I'm not even there yet. So 2021, every week. I'll see you next time. Take care.